Welcome to my channel, Ken here. Today let's take a look at the solid state logic bus plus compressor. Let's go. Here's the SSL Bus Plus hardware compressor. I'm just going to use it on a couple of drum kits that I have lined up here. So this is already mixed process, so there's upstream compression on snare, tom, cymbals, room, stuff like that. So the Bus Plus will only be used for a bus compressor as the final glue compressor before it gets sent to the master output, or master bus. So the compressor here is similar sounding to the older compressors and the other hardware compressor and plugins as well. But I'm resisting the temptation to do comparison because this one has some unique features that I haven't seen before on the SSL compressors. Of course, you can get this unit to sound like the 4000s and the other SSL compressors. And the thing is about it, it has some unique features, and I'm not going to go in depth about the mid-side compression and the dual mono compression, which is perfectly capable of doing. It's very adept at doing things like that, but I'm just going to use it as a stereo compressor on drums. The blue knobs here are essentially relating to the compressor. The black ones is a dynamic EQ, and then you have additional functions up here and here as well. So I'm just using a 4-to-1 compression here, about gain reduction about 4 dBs. Basically, I'll explain these later, as well as I'll explain the dynamic EQ in a little bit, but there's some unique features on the release function as well, and then of course you have the parallel compression on this knob right here. And essentially it's ultra flexible with these modes here. You can see it'll flip the right side on if it's a dual mono or a mid-side compressor over here, for example. The classic stereo is really what I use it for on these drums. So I have a drum kit here from a Superior drummer. I think it's the Hansa rooms, and you can manipulate how it reacts to compression quite a bit, but I'll get into that. So let's start up here. This button here has to do with how it treats the low end, so I'll just play it. So it won't react as harshly or as much on the low end if you have it engaged here. So it's kind of has a feature where it won't react as much on the bottom end, and it's more flat. I mean, you can hear the. So this button right here has to do with feedback. So right now I have it in, I believe it's in feedback mode, which is mellower sounding than the feed forward mode. So you can hear the compression is more pronounced in this mode right here. So it's gentler, it gets punchier. Now this button right here has to do with saturation, and if I push it in, red means very saturated and white means no saturation. So let's say, if I don't have any saturation on it, and we'll pump it all the way up to maximum mode. To my ears, it distorts a little bit here. But anyway, a little bit goes a long way, so let's just keep it here in the middle. About these dynamic EQs, Very useful function. I'll get to them last, but right now, if you see here on the release, it has essentially 2 autos and a super fast release time over here. So I'll play you them. So if you want punchy drums, put it here. This auto mode here. So from my understanding is that the Auto 2 is a new feature of this compressor, whereas the Auto 1, or without number on it, is something they had before. And I'm not familiar with that, but what it does is it has an attack and then a release function that kind of is special to this, but I'll play it for you. So to my ears, it holds on to the decay a little bit here, but it's very fast. As opposed to here where it doesn't hold on to it. So I'll just leave it on here for now. Quite useful actually if you want to control a little bit more of an organic feel to the decay of it. So of course you have the ubiquitous attack, and on drums I don't like to do it, but I can do it too fast, but it gets very grabby here. The threshold is obviously important. It's maximum right now. And, you know, I've just set the ratio to about, well, let's see here, 3 to 1, 4 to, I'll set it to 4 to 1. And compressor off. Now, notice the glue effect here. There's various opinions about glue effect and what it really means. But my opinion about it is that, you know, when you have a little bit of a ragged sound, such as the snare almost sounds like it's sitting alone, the cymbals are not even. But when you turn on the compressor, it'll kind of tuck it everything together here. Smooth and even. Alright, so I'll use another drum kit, just something that I use more for metal than this more pop sounding kit to me. Still rock, but let's see here. So this is also Superior Drummer, but it's a kit called Darkness, recorded in the swimming pool. Very bright. So you can see this auto mode kind of hangs on to those cymbals in the decay. So I'll do a fast release. Very punchy. On and off. So because I don't like to compress the very bottom end very much on the drum kit, I kind of use it as the reference that the rest of the kit kind of has to follow to make it even. But the snare obviously is really, really important, so that becomes a prominent feature as well. But listen to that. So probably on this kind of kit that's bright and snappy, I might want to turn down the saturation just a notch like this. So now it's I can believe it's at 4 now. So the blend knob or the parallel compression. No compression. all compression and it gets very splashy there. Now about those dynamic EQs. So you have these two knobs here, that's on and off. So you can see these work together, and you know, turn it off. And since it's a dynamic EQ as opposed to a regular EQ, you can see how it interacts very much with the compression. Do a little bit different sound here. So interesting with the lower velocity on the snare here. You can see it doesn't grab the transients. Anyway, I like this compressor a lot. It's definitely an SSL. The personality and the character of the compression and also the sound. Typical SSL in that it sounds like very clear and punchy, and you know that's why it was popular for so many years and still is. It also works extremely well as a glue compressor, as I hope I demonstrated here, as well as I think that all this flexibility that has been, I mean, I have only touched, you know, the surface here, but there's a lot more to it that you can do, especially if you don't use it on drums. You can do so many things with it and change the character of the transient as well as the tonal aspects of whatever sound, like vocals, if you were doing that here, depending on what you're going for. So it's here to stay because I think it's super well done and quiet and has all this functionality. And it's so nice that at the end of a mix or something you realize, as you're building up your mix, that there's a little bit of bottom end missing on the drums, or it's just lacks a little bit of brightness or bite, or even use the mid setting here where you can bring out, let's say, the snare if it's too low in the mix and you just can't bring it up anymore without overloading something. It's nice that at the last phase here that you can kind of make these small adjustments at the end, or big adjustments actually. You can actually go in and set the curve and all that kind of stuff, but right now it's just set up for drums, and that makes it super usable, especially when you're in a pinch or in a hurry with a mix that's got to get outdoor and you just need to just give it a little bit of sheen at the top or something, and it'll just speed things up tremendously instead of having to go in and futz, you know, with other places to get that done. So yeah, excellent unit, definitely worth it, and it's very analog sounding. That's my take on that. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.